Ever wondered how far you can push yourself beyond your perceived limits? Let's take a step back and think about this concept of perceived limits. These are the boundaries we set for ourselves, the lines we draw in the sands of our abilities. We create these lines based on our experiences, our environment, and sometimes our fears. We look at a mountain and think, I could never climb that, or see a complex equation and think, I could never solve that. But why do we do this? Often, it's because we're afraid of failure, of being judged, or simply because we underestimate our own capabilities. These self-imposed constraints can sometimes hold us back, keeping us in our comfort zones and preventing us from reaching our full potential. But what if we told you that these boundaries are malleable, that they can be pushed, stretched, and even broken? Yes, the human spirit is a powerful thing. It's resilient, relentless, and full of potential. The history of mankind is filled with stories of individuals who've pushed beyond their perceived limits, whether it was running a 4-minute mile, painting a masterpiece, or inventing a life-changing technology. Consider this: every great achievement in human history began with someone pushing beyond what was thought to be possible. Every record broken, every groundbreaking discovery, every awe-inspiring piece of art, they all began with someone deciding to push past their perceived limits. Our limits are not set in stone. They're more like the horizon, always there, but always just out of reach. And just like the horizon, our limits can be chased, can be pursued with a relentless spirit and a burning desire to go beyond. So the question isn't really, how far can we push ourselves, but rather, how far are we willing to push ourselves? What if we told you that these boundaries you've set for yourself are just illusions? Consider this: an elite marathon runner running mile after mile, pushing their body to the brink of exhaustion. Now, let's embark on a journey of resilience and determination. Our story begins with a marathon runner named Alex. Alex wasn't always a marathon runner. In fact, he was a simple office worker with a passion for fitness. But one day, he set his sights on a new challenge: a marathon, the ultimate test of human endurance. Training for a marathon is a grueling process. It demands early mornings, intense workouts, countless miles, and a mind stronger than iron. Every step that Alex took in his training was a step closer to his goal. He trained, not until he got it right, but until he couldn't get it wrong. Then came the day of the marathon. The starting gun echoed through the air, and like a river breaking through a dam, the runners surged forward. Alex was among them, a single drop in this river of determination. He ran mile after mile, his breath synchronized with the rhythm of his pounding heart. As the miles wore on, so did his body. His muscles screamed in protest, his lungs gasped for air. But Alex did not stop. He pushed, he endured. He was running not just with his legs, but with his heart, his soul. There came a point, around the 23rd mile, when his body begged him to stop. His legs felt like lead, his chest like it was on fire. But Alex remembered the countless hours of training, the early mornings, the sweat, the tears. He remembered why he started this journey in the first place. So he pushed beyond his physical limit. He pushed when his body said no. He found a strength within him he didn't know he had. And with that strength, he crossed the finish line. When the body said no, the spirit said yes, and the runner found a way to keep going. This is the story of Alex. This is the story of pushing beyond perceived limits. This is the story of fitness. Now imagine an artist working tirelessly on a masterpiece, perfecting every detail. Picture this. There's an artist, a creator of worlds, shaping a canvas with strokes of inspiration. They have a vision, a glorious, ambitious idea that they want to bring to life. But the path to creation is often fraught with obstacles. Their initial bursts of inspiration begin to wane. The colors don't blend as they'd hoped, and the image in their mind doesn't match the one forming on their canvas. Self-doubt starts to creep in. They question their ability and their vision. In these moments, it's easy to surrender, to let the canvas remain blank, the masterpiece unrealized. But not this artist. They understand that creativity is not a straight path, but a journey of exploration and discovery. They know that every great creation, every masterpiece, is born out of struggle and perseverance. So, they take a step back, they reflect, they realize that the creative block they're facing is not a dead end, but a challenge to overcome. They remember that the beauty of art lies not just in the final product, but in the process of creation itself. They start again, this time with renewed vigor and a fresh perspective. They experiment, they fail, they learn, and they grow. They push beyond their perceived limits, beyond their comfort zone. They embrace the uncertainty and the chaos, turning them into a symphony of colors and shapes on their canvas. They work tirelessly, day and night, pouring their heart and soul into their masterpiece. Every stroke of their brush, every dab of color is a testament to their resilience and determination. They grapple with their doubts and fears, transforming them into inspiration and creativity. And then, one day, they step back and look at their canvas. Their masterpiece is complete. It's more beautiful, more profound than they had ever imagined. It's a testament to their journey, their struggles and their triumphs. In the face of adversity, the artist did not give up, but instead, they dug deeper and found a well of creativity they didn't know existed. Picture this: a person learning a new language at an advanced age, challenging their cognitive limits. In the heart of a bustling city, there's an elderly gentleman named Harold. Harold is in his 70s, a time when most people are settling into the quiet rhythm of retirement. But Harold, he's not most people. He's a rebel at heart, a lifelong learner, always hungry for knowledge. And one day, he decides to learn a new language: Chinese. A language that is often considered one of the most challenging to learn, especially for English speakers. But Harold, he's not deterred. He's intrigued, excited even. He sees it not as a daunting task, but as a thrilling new adventure, a chance to push his cognitive limits and expand his world. He starts with the basics, learning the tones, the characters, grappling with the unfamiliar sounds. It's difficult, yes, but he's not discouraged, because every small victory, every word he learns, every sentence he constructs, it brings him joy. The joy of discovery, the joy of learning something new, the joy of overcoming a challenge. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. He practices every day, listens to Chinese podcasts, watches Chinese movies, even tries to order his coffee in Chinese at the local cafe. He stumbles, he struggles, but he keeps going, because he's not just learning a language, he's pushing his boundaries, challenging his own perceived limits. And then one day he has a full conversation in Chinese with a fellow learner. It's not perfect, his accent is still thick. He sometimes fumbles for words, but he does it. He communicates in a language that was completely foreign to him just a few months ago. And the joy, the pride he feels, it's indescribable. Harold, in his 70s, learning a new language, challenging the notion of what's possible at his age. He didn't let his age define his capabilities. He didn't let the challenges deter him. He embraced the journey, the struggle, the joy of learning. They proved that it's never too late to learn something new, to push beyond what we think we are capable of. As we've seen, pushing beyond our perceived limits can lead to extraordinary achievements. Whether it's the sheer physicality of fitness, the expressive expanses of creativity, or the uncharted territories of acquiring new skills, the power of pushing beyond our boundaries is a universal truth. In fitness, we've seen how the human body can exceed its own expectations, turning the impossible into reality. Creativity, on the other hand, has taught us that the mind, too, is a limitless canvas, waiting to be painted with bold strokes of imagination. And learning new skills has shown us that age, time, or circumstance are no barriers to the relentless pursuit of knowledge. These stories are not just about surpassing limits, they're about redefining them. They're about understanding that our capacity for growth and achievement is not fixed but ever expanding. And most importantly, they remind us that the only real limits are the ones we set for ourselves. So how far will you push yourself?